welcome everyone. This is Andy Duncan of NetSlingers.com, and I want to introduce a very special guest we have today, and that is John Crutchfield. Now, John is the official winner of the first sale to make online competition, our quick cash competition that we just ran for 5 days. Actually, it was 6 days. Extra day for everybody for grace. And he is our winner. So welcome and congratulations, John Crutchfield.
Thanks, Andy.
Glad you can join us. I just wanted to take a few minutes and just really introduce you, get a little bit of information about who you are and how this happened, and get to know you a bit more, because I've actually gotten many emails from people that have asked, who is this guy, John, and how did he do it? We'd like to learn more. So this call we're doing right now, it's going to be a little biography about who you are, and also more of the nuts and bolts of how you did what you did, just for the sake of understanding and helping other people, almost duplicate what you did and even learn from that and go further with it. So first, I think you are right now in San Francisco, California. Is that right?
Yep, I'm in the Richmond district of San Francisco, which is close to the ocean in San Francisco. San Francisco is quite a large place. As they say, 49 square miles entirely surrounded by reality.
Yeah, I spend a little time out there, so I'm very familiar with the city and the outskirts, everywhere from the city to Santa Clara, San Mateo, and I've been as far as, I guess, more intimately into Santa Cruz, all down the coast. It's actually a nice part of the country. You also like to spend time in India, from what I understand. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Actually, I would call it my primary residence for the past 5 or 6 years has been northern India in the western Himalayas near an area called Dharamsala. And what I've been doing there has been a couple of different things. I have a small recording studio, so I'm an interested music composer. I like writing songs and playing music, and then I've also been directing a nonprofit organization called Indigo Charitable Trust, which is primarily for the past 5 years we've been presenting holistic health and accelerated self-healing programs for Tibetan Buddhist monks and nuns and local Indian villagers in the area.
Sounds really great to be.
Yeah, I love it.
And I imagine that you'd like to get back there as well too.
Yes. That's the motivation for me to have been studying internet marketing for the past year or so.
Very good. So obviously you are on my list, and you found out about this competition I was doing of how to make your first sale online, and it was just the one video. So
right.
Before you started to watch the video, what were you actually doing online? Were you doing much?
You mean as far as activity goes?
Yeah.
I would say I've been more in the studying mode, and the consequent overwhelm I think than anybody gets when they jump into internet marketing. Trying to figure out what should I know? Do I need to learn web design, SEO, micro niche blogging, all that stuff? And it can be really overwhelming. And it can, and the overwhelming amount of information can really, it's real easy to think that I probably need to study this stuff a lot more before I actually do anything. And so I put up a couple of, just started practicing with some simple how to learn HTML videos I found online for free, and so I put together one little site. I had done a couple of other things, but no sales per se. I haven't really got to the point of marketing these things yet. So the sites were there, but of course it's kind of like having a pot of gold and keeping it in a closet in the middle of Quebec, and not nobody knows it's there. So kind of that's what was going on. And I've been here in the U.S. I was hoping, when I came for a couple of months, that I would learn things really quickly and implement them and get an online business going so that I wouldn't have to keep coming back to the United States. I teach holistic health. I do a lot of holistic health lifestyle coaching and whatnot, and I that's what I was doing for my income here in the U.S. So I said, well, if I put something together online, I'll be able to generate income, and then I won't have to keep coming back to the U.S. except when I need to, purchase guitar strings or family or something like that. And so I was pretty. By the time summer, and the end of summer and fall were passing along, and nothing was happening, and I was kind of deer in the headlights, paralyzed with trying to figure out what to do. I was kind of like, oh God, I know I've got to do something, but I couldn't even tell you what it was. And then I got an email from you about your contest, and I was like, oh, cool, let me check it out. And I love your communication style, and I love your presentation. Often, really helps me to kind of calm down about any sort of stress or panic or urgency I might have around something. So I was like watching the video. I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this. This is good. And at that point, I said, well, okay, good. I'll just start to look for products on ClickBank. I'm familiar with that, and joined a few more networks and was checking out what they've got, and looked on forums. And then by the end of the first day, I was like deep into overwhelm again, and I was like, oh God, no, it's the same thing again. Looking at trying to do nothing, trying to do something significant here, and haven't got a clue again. And just the mind chatter was just taking over, large and heavy. So I was, as I mentioned to you in my email, I took a break, and I was over in downtown San Francisco at the upper deck of a parking lot for Trader Joe's, and I was like sitting there. A friend called, and I was talking to her, and we were talking about a third friend that I'd known, but I hadn't seen him for probably 3 years. And just as soon as we got done talking with him, he pulled up next to me. I'm like, well, what's up? Haven't seen you for a while. He said, well, I just got off the road. He's a musician. He's just got off the road for about 9 months, and I'm just trying to get back to in action with my piano lessons and everything else. And he came back out. He goes, hey, do you want some books? And I was like, sure, I'll take books. That sounds like fun. And so he walks out, and out of the back of his truck, he pulls these three huge garbage bags full of books. He says most of them are pretty new. He said, when I go on the road, I'll like be in an airport. I'll buy like 5 books, and I'll read like 2 or 3 of them halfway, and then won't ever go back to them. So that's the story about the books. And so I put them in the back of the truck, and then that night I'm still trying to figure out where's the best blog to post and where's the best forum to post. And I got a whole list of about 20 forums I was going to start posting on. And then I thought, well, you know what? I really want to do something like immediately. I said, what'd be the easiest thing I could do? I said, I could post something on eBay, and that'll sell maybe, but I got all these books. I might as well just post them on there. So I went online, and I just sat down with all the books, and I went to Amazon, and I just looked up every single book. And any book that was worth more, that was selling used for $5 or more, I kept. And any book that didn't look like I wanted to read it, or was less than $5, I put in another pile. So I took the second pile over to the Goodwill, gave that away, and the first pile I just went on and I just went on Amazon, figured out how to open an Amazon sales account, and posted all the books on there, and said, okay, good, I'm going to sell a bunch of these books right now. And that was just all I thought. I was just seeing myself smiling and checking my email, and sure enough, next morning, that was like 7:15 at night, and the next morning, like by 7 a.m., I checked my email, and boom, there it was. First one was sold, and I was like, woohoo, good, this is happening.
Tell me, how long did it take you to actually list those books and put them onto Amazon? And how many did you put on to start with?
About 35.
35, okay.
Yeah.
And those were the books that you identified that actually were selling on Amazon as a used book for at least $5 or more.
That's the deal. Yeah, I just went on used. It's like used books at $5 or more, and that way I can sell them for a couple of cents less. And the idea is that anybody who's shopping on Amazon, if all things are equal, they'll go for the cheapest price. So I figured the easiest way to sell books was just go for everything, and then even if it was, and most of these books were actually they were in great condition. Yeah, so it was just a question of determining what I thought would sell, And the reason I did $5 or less because with Amazon does take a commission, you know, and in some cases I haven't figured out what their algorithm is. It doesn't look like it's the same for every book because the percentage doesn't look like it's the same. But you know, nevertheless, in terms of how long it took me to research everything and to actually post it, I would say the total amount of time was probably a generous exaggeration would be 90 minutes.
Okay. So about an hour and a half.
Max. And then it took me another 10 minutes to rifle through my friend's office recycling and find some padded envelopes and packing tape and ship them out.
So you didn't spend any money on getting an Amazon account and then listing these books and even shipping them and getting the supplies. You spent $0?
I would say I had some packing tape already. I'm relatively mobile while I'm here in the States, so I've got a little in one of my suitcases. I've got a little little office supply thing, and it includes super glue, a pair of scissors, a Sharpie, and some pens and packing tape. About a month ago, when I was able to borrow that, I bought a ream of paper, so that cost me $4 for the ream of paper, and I used it to print out my shipping tags or shipping address, and then just taped it on the front of the envelope. The envelope was free, and $2.38 per book to send out.
Okay, but the buyer pays for that anyway, right?
Buyer pays for that. Yep.
Yeah. So that's not out of your own pocket.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you listed 35 books, you said?
Yeah.
And it took you about 90 minutes to do it.
Yep.
And within 24 hours, you got about 3 sales?
Yeah. I sold 3 and just sold another one yesterday.
So you have a total of 4 sales so far?
Yeah.
Nice. So how much did you make from those 4 sales, commission-wise? What comes to you net?
Total income, I think Amazon owes me a check for about $30.
All right. So congratulations.
Yeah, it's not going to pay my insurance for next month, but it will. But what it did do, mostly what I'm excited about, was that it just really got me energized to move forward on all the other fronts that I'm interested in moving forward on.
And that's exactly what it's designed to do. I mean, the reason why I made that video is just to get really people to take action and get out there and actually do something and make their first sale. Because like you're saying, when you make that first sale, you get motivated, because even though it wasn't $1,000 commission, but it was a few dollars, $5 here, $7 there. You made $30 putting in 90 minutes of work, and you still have a number of books on Amazon that could still sell any time.
Exactly. And what's even more exciting to me is that, like, I've got one of my affirmations is one of those I got from Bob Proctor, God love him, and it was like it's that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources with ease. And this is just like one great little stream, and I'm continually running across books all the time. I'm kind of a book magnet. I love reading, and I love information. I love teaching, and I love sharing, and motivation and all that sort of stuff. And so I'm just kind of a magnet for that kind of stuff. And in the past, I started thinking, my gosh, when I moved from Maui to India, I took and downsized. I took like 3/4 of my library and just gave it away. And I'm thinking, my gosh, that there was easily, at least a few $1,000 that I could have just had sitting in a place and, posted on Amazon.
Yeah, totally. Interesting, huh?
So this is just for me. It's exciting that it's just it's another stream, and it's not the end of the it's not the end of the line, and it's just great. It's great. It's like, hey, I think it's perfect beginner's luck for the beginning beginning sprouts of this, this particular thing, and now I'm kind of excited to start opening, putting together some product review sites for Amazon products to do affiliate links to them, because that's a great little area for anybody that doesn't have any cash. You can get a free site at Weebly.com, and you can put up a blog there and just go to Amazon and sign up for their affiliate program and find products you like and post little pictures of them on your site, and then just start to do everything possible to drive traffic to those sites. And there's another little stream of income. And these things, what most people don't know, this is even what I didn't even understand, like say a year ago, when we hear all this, all we hear is all the good stuff, the ClickBank forums that they show in their videos, and it could be, here's where I made $25,000, and here's how I made $115,000, and blah 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 blah. And the facts of the matter is a lot of times these things are generated just by little dinky sites that are just, each site is only generating maybe, could only generate $250 a month. But if you've got, most of the time these people will do like 100 sites. So you get 100 sites, and they each average, $150 a site. There you go. There's your, $15,000 a month.
Yeah, that's one strategy that people have used to create bigger and bigger income. Now, I have a question for you. Now, you're looking at creating a blog and putting up some affiliate links on there.
Right.
How are you going to drive traffic to that site, to that blog?
Well, first of all, there's a couple of different things. One of the things that I'm most intrigued with is just getting on forums and posting on forums and blogs, and continuing to drive, keeping good records about my doing so that I can revisit those sites on a regular basis and keep the energy going until I get have a budget that I can use to do something like Facebook or Twitter, Facebook ads or something along those lines, like a pay-per-click thing.
Here's another strategy you can use right now. Using Amazon to drive traffic back to your blog is if you sign up into Amazon as a reviewer, so that you can now review books that you have read, and they could be any books, really any books, but you want to focus on best-selling books. If you actually review a book, and you have a good review that's interesting and relevant, and it actually tells you something that you'll learn from buying this book, what Amazon allows you to do is, as a reviewer, especially if you use your real name and it's verified, you can now have a link as the reviewer with your name and a link back to your website.
Oh, cool.
From Amazon. So
exciting.
Amazon gets tons of traffic. I know a lot of people who have become professional reviewers, and they sell like crazy because people go back to their website. And what would make sense is have the same review on your blog with the Amazon affiliate link for that book on your blog, so you have a chance to sell them from your place as opposed to from Amazon. But
got it. Yeah, that's great.
Also have other related reviews to books. So how Amazon sets up where, people who've bought this book also looked at this book or have bought this book. Well, review all of those books if you have a chance.
Got it. Okay.
And if you can't buy the book, if you can't afford to buy the book, most major public libraries get those books in their libraries. Go to the library, read the book, spend a couple hours, read some of the best of the book, and then review it. Go back on Amazon.com as a reviewer, review the book, talk about it on your blog, and put a link back to your blog and have a review. And the more people that can actually, what Amazon also does for people who review books, they ask you a question: was this review helpful? And people will say yes or no. So the more people say yes, the more your review will become more highlighted on Amazon as a popular reading.
Cool.
And people will click on your link because they want to know who you are and what you do.
I can also see how it'd be really cool to talk to all the people I know that read and have them do reviews for stuff that they've read, too, and they can post that on the same thing. Because most of the people I know are not really all that into the net or online very much, except for, a few things. But it's not like I hang around with internet marketers, for sure. I mean, most of the people think I'm nuts for doing what I'm doing, so.
Yeah, I hear you. That means you're on the right track, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I figured, So they say if you're going the same way everyone else is going, you're probably not being creative at that point.
Very true. So this is great. You're experienced having a few sales online in a very short period of time. You've gotten excited from seeing those results, and now you're going to go further and have your own blog, which you can get for free at Weebly, or you can also get it from blogger.com. There are other places like that. You can get free blogs and set them up and start literally in minutes from now, and start your own reviews.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be interested in doing that. I've got a couple of. Last night. I had a couple of domains that I had purchased a number of years ago, and I was just earlier in the year I paid for like a year's worth of hosting, and so I've got all these domains registered, hosted by this one particular hosting company. So I last night what my goal was to upload WordPress to every single one, so that I could at least start using either different themes or whatever to create sites around each particular different subject matter.
Nice. And you can follow the same formula of checking out online on Google, on Google Trends, on Amazon, and places that track the trends. What are people thinking about? What are they focusing on? What are they buying? And do that same thing for anything you want to pursue, that you want to sell online. Make sure there is a market for it. Make sure people are actually searching for it.
Exactly.
That always makes it easier.
Definitely. I'll tell you it does, because of the one DVD that I mentioned for you. It's something that I know, 80% of people, we mentioned before, it was a foot education DVD on how to care for and adjust your own feet so that you can eliminate bunions and different sorts of foot issues without surgery or drugs. But if I were to have engineered it by researching for a desire for that product, there's virtually a very low desire. In fact, I had an Ask campaign that I was thinking about, that I was had posted doing, and we put the link up. Go here and you'll receive a free copy of it. And it was out and on a few pretty popular websites. One was a massage school that's been around for 30 years, and they get a lot of hits. Not a single person clicked on it.
Yeah.
And it was because people don't. It's one of people don't do anything about their feet until they really are in excruciating pain, and then they go to a podiatrist, and a podiatrist doesn't have the distinction of preventative health or natural healing anyway. They just know drugs and surgery. So, unfortunately, that's the market with that. So we get very little traffic with that at this point in time. Although I'm looking forward to building up the traffic through a ton of different strategies, but that's a good example of that, of just not doing the research. We just developed this product because it's been so revolutionary in our own lives, and also with the students and clients we've taught to it over the past number of years. And but it wasn't what I would call a well-researched product that was designed to sell on the internet for sure.
Yeah, there's one quick thing you can do for anything you're thinking about promoting or selling. What you need to do is type in the keywords of what people would be looking for. So in your case, you have, I think it's foot freedom. Right. But if it's a specific product, if you type in the name of the product or words that people would search for that would help them, and you do that into Google, you type in like 2 or 3 keyword phrase or something of this is what people typically would want to search for this product that you're thinking about promoting. A quick tip for you is that you'll see, first of all, the number of searches for those words. Right. If it's a few 100,000, that's not a lot. If it's several million searches for those keywords, and you'd want to put quotations around the whole phrase. Right, so it includes. And And then the other part is you want to look on the right side of the Google page to see if there's any paid advertising.
Oh, yeah.
If there is no paid advertising, chances are they're not popular searches or keywords because no one's paying to have their ad placed there. On the other hand, you see a lot of paid advertising on the right side of Google after you search. That means it's people are selling and making money.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's getting so simple and so easy to do it. It doesn't need to be a barrier any longer to getting up and getting online and being able to do whatever it is you want to do, whether you want to just blog about your puppy, Fritzy, or whether, or if you're interested in going full steam ahead and making a, legit business out of the deal. It's becoming a lot easier, and for those of us that have done it a little bit, I really just would prefer to, give it back to people and just let them know that it's a lot. It doesn't have to be, rocket science.
No, that would be great. I mean, the truth is most people just don't know that all these things exist, that they could actually go out and start a blog in 10 minutes from now without knowing anything about blogging.
Exactly.
But they have no idea that it's, number one, possible, and they don't know, number two, where to look.
Yeah.
And if someone can point them in the direction, then life can be a lot easier because the technology is there, the knowledge is there, the information is there. It's just having somebody point you in that direction and say, go, take it, go for it, do it. You can do this, and actually go ahead and move forward.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
I really appreciate you taking this time to, enlighten us and share your story there, John. Before we go, do you have any last bit of advice for someone starting out online, just like you did?
Learn to read quickly. And the faster we can read, the more information we can get. Take the photo reading class if you can.
That's good.
I would say, just don't give up. Just keep realizing that as someone once told me, the absence of evidence does not necessarily imply the evidence of absence. meaning that just because you can't see it now, it doesn't mean that it can't happen. And until we hold something in our head, we can't really hold it in our hand. And so we can really benefit by just taking frequent breaks, stopping, and and noting how we feel. And if we feel anything less than neutral, to start thinking about something that'll squirt those neurochemicals into our body and allow us to start feeling better. Because the better we feel, the more optimal our brain's going to work. The more optimally our brain works, the more creative we can be, and the better attitude we have will contribute to a high level of success for us. I know that for sure in my own life with everything.
That's amazing. You reminded me, there's a book written by Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Oh, yeah.
And the book title is very clear. And the title is called You Will See It When You Believe It.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's great. I love it.
And it's just the opposite to what most people think.
Right. You can't. Most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. No, you can't. It's like, if you can see it, you got to see it first before you, in your head, before you can. You got to, because everything starts with a thought.
Yes, exactly.
And
that's really good advice. It's knowing that you can do it before you actually do it, and knowing that it can reveal itself and you can get a result before actually doing it. And it's just going through the motions to actually get there.
We just got to keep running until we get to the end. And guess what? Because there's nobody's telling us how the story goes, we're still in the middle of the story until the credits are rolling. Mm-hmm. And so we really don't know. Something happens, and we could say, oh, that's a terrible thing. But you know what? Every single thing that ever happened to you or me made us the person who we are right now. And if you like who you are right now, you have all those jerks in your past that, so-called screwed you over to thank for being who you are right now. So thank you very much. And we don't know whether the person who looks like the evil uncle right now is not the hero of the story at the end of the story. We don't know yet. And so if we kind of can practice the skill of suspending judgment and just focus on what we want, what do we want to create, then go back to our commitment, to our purpose, and to our vision, we have a higher chance of continuing to water that seed, because we don't know. Maybe the seed's almost ready to sprout, poke through the ground, but we think it should have poked through last week, so we give up. We say, oh, forget about it. We're not going to water this anymore. It's never going to come up. How do you know? You don't know until it actually does. So we just kind of have to keep on top because it's not our time. It's the universe that's in charge, our divine higher power or whatever, by whatever word we choose to describe it, that's the one. And if we want something and it doesn't happen, thank the universe for overriding our decisions, because every single thing is contributing to our success. And the more we can remember that, or at least affirm that, the more we start to find what we're looking for, which is something that is more in alignment with our success.
I really appreciate your time. And
thanks. I really appreciate you too. And thanks for inspiring me. That was the kick in the butt I needed to kind of re-energize my focus of attention.
Oh, my pleasure. And let me know if I can help you in any way.
Great. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your call. Have a wonderful time.
Andy and John signing off. And
aloha.
Thank you again so much. And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.